In today's video we are unboxing the Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game by Archon Studios, and this box should be the big box, so let's take a look and get right into it. Hi and welcome, my name is Klaus and this is the big box that we're taking a look at, but without any further ado, let's just get to it. So let's get it opened up. Trying to carefully cut away. So let's see. So as we can see here, first off we have what I would think is just some protection paper. Let's get that away. Then we have these, what looks like posters. So we have here one of the art, some of the art from the game, and here we have all the different autographs of the people, probably the ones behind the board game as well. And it looks like we have multiple posters. So these are on pretty thick stock cardboard. So here we have the one with all the autographs. We have another one here. And another one. So a lot of different dragons. Here we have the Inferno with all the different units from the Inferno class. We have the wizards. We have the elves. We have swamp. We have the necromancer or undead. We have the maze. That's probably the warlocks, I think. We have humans. Yeah, so we have all the different factions, as well as some dragon ones. Let's get that one in front and get again. So a lot of nice A4 posters, ready to be put into a frame. So next up we have the big box here. Let's see if we have anything in the sides. So we do have a bubble wrapped envelope over here. Let's see. That looks like an art book. So we've got a bit of scruff here, but yeah. So the Arts of Heroes of Might and Magic, the board game. Let's see if we can get this one opened up. So here we have the book. If we open up, so it is Heroes of Might and Magic, the board game. We have some foreword. We have art of the different castles, and these are actually from the games, I think. It looks like some of it is from the original games at least. And there's a couple of pictures of some of the sculpts for the game. We have description of the different units. So here we have the halberdiers, the marksmen, the knights. We have the sealer, the champion, and the archangels, as well as the 3D sculpt. Then we have a description of different heroes. And it continues, so we have Necropolis. Let's see. Dungeon. Rampart is, of course, the name of the elves. Fortress. That's the swamp one. Tower. That's the wizard one. Inferno. I really love that they have like the old graphic here from different castles, and then a small description, and then the different units as well. So a very nice overlook of all the different stuff. So we have neutral as well. So these are the castles not owned by anyone, and here is where the art comes in with the different dragon types, and there's also some sketches here as well. Very nice. We have mummies, nomads, gold golems, peasants, trolls, ballistas, catapults, ball riders, etc. from the orcs. Then we have the new graphics from the spell and abilities, the different schools of magic. We have the different skills that your hero can get. We have the artifacts as well. A lot of very nice and detailed on these very shiny pages here. Very nice art book indeed. But let's get the big box up. So we finally got the box here up here, and I don't know if I can turn around, but you can see here Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game, and you have the emblem or the logo here. It's by Archon Studios down here and licensed by Ubisoft, who now owns the rights. But it was of course the old Studio 3DO that made most of the Heroes game and Might and Magic games, but now it's owned by Ubisoft. But let's get the wrap off and open up the box. There. So I actually love that we have this kind of marmor effect here on the box, so it's not just pure black. And let's see if we can open up here. Big lid. And we actually didn't take a look at the back side. We're probably gonna do that at some point. But here we have, first off, we have the rule book. So it says here, and it goes through all the components that we should find down here, all the cards, the tokens, a bit of full art that we all saw in the art book, how to set up your game, how heroes work, deck building, how to manage your resource, your town, the different locations that is on the maps. We have the different units, how to read the unit cards, how combat is proceeding, and how to play versus the game itself in single player mode or neutral units. Let's put it over here. Then we have the tournament book. So there is apparently tournament rules. Let's see, in tournament mode, how to score victory points, how to set up the different scenarios. Okay, so it seems like if you're playing competitive with a group of people. We have the mission book here that describes the different missions. Here we have the halfling from the tower. So we have class mode, we have the different scenarios in class. What else do we have? Let's see. What's the state here? So we have class mode, cooperative mode, campaign mode, and castle campaign. And then we have a description of how to set up the different scenarios for 2 or 3 players. And which location sites you need to use. Here we have the cooperative, we have the campaign. So yeah, it seems like there's a lot of different play modes to go through. Then we have the rule book for the Battlefield expansion. Here, so this one was the core game mission book. Here we have the Battlefield rulebook, and if you haven't seen, what the Battlefield does is instead of having a, I think it's 2 or 3 lane board, you actually get the big battlefield like you know it from the game, with all the different obstacles and stuff like that, and then you can play out the battle just like you would do in the computer game. Very nice indeed. Really looking forward to this one, seeing all the different units placed on this big tile, and there should also be so you can set up towers and walls and stuff like that. Here we have the different rules, deployment zones, how to use it. Yeah, here we have the example of the castle with the walls and the gate and everything, just like you remember it if you have played the game. That is definitely so. Heroes Might and Magic 3 is one of the games that I played the most. I have to admit that I played the 2nd edition more than the 3rd edition, and I also completed the first game in the series. But yes, the 3rd edition was, in my opinion, the last good edition of Heroes of Might and Magic. Then we have the expansion specific rulebook. So this one is for Fortress, which brings in some new elements, new events, new rules, but also brings in a lot of new scenarios for different modes as well. We have the story part here. Then we have the same, we have the mission book, but this time it is for the tower and for ramparts, because those are also 2 faction expansions that is not part of the core game. So if I remember correctly, the core game are the humans, also, which is Castle, Necropolis, I think, and I can't remember the 3rd one, but there's 3 in the core game. So here again we have some new missions, some new events, some new rules, and these are for the different modes in the game, as well as some story parts that you can read as you play. Same goes for ramparts and of course the Inferno as well. So here we have the ramparts. Again, describes the different modes, the different missions, the different stories, if you want to play through that. And the same for Inferno, but Inferno seems a bit slim, to be honest. So we have some new rules for some of the schools of magic. Then we have rules for alliance mode, class mode. Okay, so we have no stories in this one. We have no story mode, we only have scenarios. Next up we have astrologer's answers. Okay, which is the QA. So these are question and answers for different stuff like game mechanics, heroes, town, combat units, cards, solo mode. So nice that they actually brought this in from all the changes and updates that they did during the campaign and development. We have a guide to different trays where all the different units should go. And that is 3 pages. It seems like we have 3 different trays down here for the units. Then we have all the cardboard tokens. So we have different currency, we have some spell effects, we have some resources, damage, spell books. These are of course double-sided. Yeah. Seems like mostly the same. Then we have the first tray which have a lot of the game components and they have slided a bit around, I can see. So we have these location hexes or map tiles here. So this is F4, which is a 2 to 3, and we have the different locations that was in the rulebook as well as some identification of what you will get. And I can see we have different forms of these. We have some grassland, some badlands, some necropolis, some mountains. And let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It seems like there is the same in all of these, which means that we have 12, 24, 48, 60 different location tiles to play with. That should give a lot of randomization when you play the game and the campaigns, or if you just want to set up your own scenarios. Then we have the hero boards here. So we can see one of the hero boards here, that is Katrin. On the other side we have Ryan. We have their different stats here, as well as their starting specialty and skill. And down here we have places to cube, so these are probably gonna pop out here, so that you can put down your cube while you're playing. And these are the different bonuses that you get as you level up. And of course we have all the different heroes also double size, so this is the, it seems like 2 of these are, no, so these are for humans. Don't know who this should be for Overlord. These are ramparts, necropolis, tower, fortress. Okay, so it seems like ramparts again. So it seems like we have 2 physical heroes and 2 magical heroes for each of the factions. Then we have a lot of these colored cubes that you use on your heroes and your town boards, which I'm gonna show you now. So if we take the human town board as well, we can see here that we have the full town build. You can just get this to focus. So here we have the different buildings that you can build, and these actually pops out like this. So you can see here what it resource costs to build, like the city hall and this was the Brotherhood of the Sword, the city hall, the towers, and then we have the different units over here. So this is probably the joust arena, yeah, Glory of Iratia, etc, etc. And then you would slide down these so that you can build up your town just like it looks up in the games. If I can pop these back down, it seems like you have to be a bit, it seems like a bit fiddly, but that might be because it has just come out of print. Yeah. We have the different icons here. You have your resource gain down here. Again, using the cubes, you have what abilities and bonuses you get for building the different stuff and what faction they belong to. And of course, we have all the faction cards. So we have castle, we have necropolis, we have fortress, we have tower. That's fortress. Then this is dungeon, ramparts and inferno, and we actually have 2 additional heroes down here. Okay, and I'm wondering if this is actually made ready for the last expansion, the community expansion that haven't come yet, which should be Oh, that's the faction with the genies. I can't remember the name of that faction, but that should be coming as well. But let's get the next tray, and these trays are heavy, really heavy. So next up we have the first of the miniature trays. I really like that they have just made one big box where everything fits. So here we have an example of one of the hero models that you move around the board. I think this is for the necropolis. And it seems like all of this is colored plastic. Yeah, it is. So here we have the units for the necropolis. These are the liches. We also have the raids here. And these are pretty detailed sculpts. Here we have the vampire. So it's some of the better quality that I've seen. It seems like it is not as flexible in the plastic as an example, Hero Quest by Hasbro, but it seems sturdy enough. We also have some 3D printed or some plastic notes here, which is probably just versions of the resources that we saw in the cardboard token as well. So here we have a 10, I think it's a mining node. We also have the morale tokens down here. We have the valuable resource here. We have chests, we have a time counter. But yeah, the Medusas, the wizards, a lot of really nice miniatures. Here we have the gnolls. And pretty good details. I would have liked some of these to be a bit deeper, the recesses, but I think they're gonna look awesome anyway. And let's take a look on the next one. So we just have some protection here, and that is because here we have the boards. They are that's pretty thin cardboard, to be honest. Don't know if you can see it, but that's a bit thinner than normal cardboard. So this is the normal combat battlefield for the core game, which have these lanes, so 4 lanes, not 3 or 2. Have 4 lanes, you have the middle, and then you have your deployment zone, and that is the basic combat system that you use. Nothing on the back. And then of course we have the extended version here, which is in the same pretty thin plastic in my opinion. Oh, sorry about that. But this one folds out to be a pretty big board. So I don't know if you can see it, if it can actually be in the camera. It fills the whole camera, but this is a complete battlefield with exact copy of the ones from the games, allowing you to do a full detailed battle with your miniatures and units. Here we have all the different obstacle tiles for the expansion as well. We have a big pile of player aids telling you how a round goes on and what actions you can take. So it seems like we have... Oh, that's for the combat battle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems like we have one for each faction. And then we have the battlefield. But let's see what we can get here. So if we take off the lid of this one, like this, then we have the last miniatures, which is also one of the big ones. So here we have the Pegasus Riders. The sword has got a bit bent here. That can probably be straightened out with some hot water. But we have Pegasus here from the Ramparts expansion. We have the almost iconical archangels from the Knights the Castle. We have the devils from Inferno. Yeah. And then we have all the castles. So here we have like the tower, and these are actually modeled, if I can get them up, modeled after the old game as well. Really, really nice. A lot of nostalgia in these miniatures, really. So here we have the tower. And of course, I think most people can recognize the necropolis as well. These are actually also pretty detailed, especially the bases. So that's nice. Let's see. Let's get this over here. Okay, so we have more trays. So I thought that we had 3 trays, but I can see that we have at least 2 more trays down the box. So here we have a lot of tokens. So these seem to be gold tokens, resource tokens, valuable resource tokens, victory point tokens, ore tokens. And we have a bit of cardboard here. So over here under the player aids, we have what seems to be all the different cards. So here we have the rest of the cubes for the last factions. That is probably all the expansion factions look like. So the ones we had in the top was for the core game. We have the special dice that you use for resource movement and treasure. We have the different location cards. So this is the battlefield deck. We have some end of day here. We have the trading post. And we have all the spell cards, it seems like. And the artifacts. The different skills. More skills. And we have the Rampart expansion with the additional cards that comes within it. This is the Inferno expansion. These are the unit cards, it seems like. So here we have the different stats of the units. So this is the halberdiers, what they cost, and their stats. And if we open this one up, oh, this one has a very nice foil effect actually. So if you look here, we have the normal version, Black Dragons. Then when you turn it over, it has this foil effect, just like you would see in the trading card game. I wonder if all of the cards have this. So if we take the halberdiers, oh, they do. So when they get upgraded to a pack, they actually get this effect. I would say these cards are a bit bent. I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna straighten them out when we sleeve them anyway. I am wondering if all the cards can be here sleeved though. But yeah, let's take a look. So again, we have all the different cards. So here we have the ramparts, the tower, the neutral monsters, the infernos, with the arc devils here. And it is only the cards here in the back that has a bit of a bend to be honest. Luckily. So let's get this moved up here. Oh, that's by far the heaviest tray. Oh, and this is one big tray down here. Damn. So here we have the really big one. So we have the different dragons. Again, this is like the crystal dragon we saw. Could be a bit more detail in this one, to be honest, at least in my opinion. We have the bone dragon. This one looks awesome. Don't know if you can see it here on the camera, but that is really nice. So, and this is the Hydra. That's also looking really nice. So I do like that they have sculpted everything out from the old game. So these are the fortress ones. Here we have the Titan from the tower expansion. We have the unicorns, we have the manticore. And again, some of these are... Oh, we have the face in there, I couldn't find it. So some of these are really big in this tray here. And that is the last tray. I will admit I really love how they have put everything together in this one box. So you don't need to go out and do custom solution or find out where to have all your stuff as you're playing. And it seems like everything will fit back pretty decently. Let's see, without too much of a struggle. So this one should go down there. This one should be able to go on top. Yes, we have this protection layer. And then we had the rest of the miniatures trays down here. Ending with the big boy. And this is definitely a heavy one. And all these tokens will go probably down to this tray here and there. But yeah, that was all the content in the box. And I know that I'm pretty excited to try this out, because it looks like there is so many hours in this game. So just before we end, I want to show you the back here. So you can see here, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game. It has a bit of a crevice actually, to be honest. It might have getting some hits during transportation, unfortunately, but it seems okay. We have a small description here that says that you are able to choose by 6 different solo campaigns or play a range of varied multiplayer scenarios and unique conditions, the different modes and expansions. And then we have a lot of nice pictures of all the different components and miniatures. It says here that the book, it says down here, if I just move it, the box contains 1 rulebook, 1 battlefield rulebook, 5 mission books, a tournament book, 7 player aids, 2 battlefield player aids, 56 map tile, not 60, so apparently 4 of those stacks were one lower than the one I counted. 7 town boards, 8 town models, 14 hero models, and the last one here is of course the neutral town. 14 hero models, 64 unit models, 90 plastic tokens, 10 map endowments, 1 round tracker, 1 battlefield combat board, 14 double-sided hero cards, 661 various cards, 260 various tokens, and 220 acrylic cubes, and 8 custom dice. It is for 1 to 4 players, age 14 and up, and it takes around 120 minutes. So that was all the content in this big box of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game by Archon Studios. And I must say, I really love that they made this one big box with the core game and all the expansions, which just makes it so much easier to get on the table, and if you need to take it around to friends or gaming clubs. I also really like that it comes with all these custom inserts, so don't have to go out and find a custom solution yourself, and everything fits perfectly back in the box when you're done playing. It looks like everything here has a very high quality. The only small things that I can see is that some of the miniatures could have a bit more recess in the details, and then the battle board seems to be a bit thin. But again, the rest, the cards, the miniatures, overall, everything is very high production quality, which you could also see in the art book and the posters. So personally, I'm really looking forward to reading the rules and learning the game and get a few games under my belt. And then of course we'll come with a final review with our thoughts of how the game actually plays. But as of right now, if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please consider giving us a like and subscribe. It is highly appreciated. But that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.